Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of CBIT Talks. I'm your host Vaishnavi, and today we are diving deep into fitness, personal development and much more. Today we have none other than Sravan, who is a fitness enthusiast, CBIT alumni and a content creator. Welcome Sravan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Sravan, a lot of people think that fitness is all about lifting weights, eating right, but what I've heard from you is mindset plays a major role in fitness. So what is your take on this?
First, whenever some person starts a fitness journey, so they'll have some personal reasons. They start with a motivation. Motivation doesn't help them to take your fitness journey for a longer run. So all it requires is your discipline. So that discipline requires a mindset, and doing a boring thing every day, eating the same thing every day requires a lot of discipline. So all it takes the mindset to doing the boring thing.
So coming to fitness, there are a lot of myths around it. Like a lot of people might be having different opinions on it and different things which they think is wrong. So what is your answer to that?
First myth I heard when I joined gym is like people complain about not getting time to join gym, or people complain that gym is costly. So yeah, at certain point, like bodybuilding as a sport is a costly sport. Doing gym and having a basic fitness is not as costly as you think. Yeah, it requires a lot of transfer of your spending from a bad thing to a good thing. Going to a cafe and they'll spend around 500 to 1000 per person, but all it requires for gym membership is 1 to 2000 per month. So it requires a transfer of mindset and money from one part of your life to another part. That is the first myth people complain about, not having money to join gym. And the other thing people complain about is not getting time of doing gym. I understand that at certain point of life people have their priorities. Fitness is something which requires a daily attention. So doing a fitness at least for 30 minutes a day will help them to achieve a basic and decent physique or be fit.
Okay. So like you told, time constraints is a major thing which people think about. So let's say if you had to give a workout for people who want to do for 10 minutes, what would it be?
So as I have mentioned that scientifically, at least to achieve a basic fitness, it requires 150 hours per week of physical activity. So 150 per week you can divide it into 5 days a week, and then every day 30 minutes. So that's a basic requirement. To do a moderate physical activity, they have to spend at least 30 minutes a day.
Okay, fine. So you say that there's no 10-minute workout. There's no shortcut. You have to go through 30 minutes of a day at least you need to spend on yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. So as a beginner, what were the mistakes which you made initially?
Whenever someone joins gym, they have no idea what to do and what exercise should they follow, what split they should follow, and what kind of diet they should take. So initially I had the similar problem when I joined gym. I wasted a little amount of time earlier in my life when I fixed my mindset that I have to do gym. The first thing I did is do not waste time on exploring things, rather focus on a mentor who can help you, guide you. So in any part of life, if we have a proper mentor to guide everything, we'll save a lot of time. So that mistake is something everyone will do, and hiring a personal trainer is expensive, I understand. But if you can afford a personal trainer who has a good knowledge and who do not overtrain you, and finding is also difficult.
True.
So yeah, that's the most tricky part if you are into fitness, and that requires a lot of luck also to find a good trainer. There are a few technical aspects, particularly in gym, how do you do it. So all those will help you to master that, but it takes time. All it takes time, but do not do mistakes. If you heard of someone doing a mistake, do not try to repeat that in your life, and try to be more aware before doing that.
Okay. And honestly speaking, fitness is something you have to be really consistent at. You can't just keep missing your gym or whatever, your entire routine. So what actually made you stay consistent throughout very long time, as we've seen in your Instagram as well?
What I've done so far is just a 1 year of consistent gym, but there are other people who carry that for years and years of time. So take inspiration from them and understand that fitness is not a thing which you can follow in particular part of your life. To carry that throughout your life, you'll always enjoy the process.
I think consistency is not only about going to gym regularly, but also maintaining your diet. Yes. And when it comes to diet, you'll always be distracted with all the amazing delicious food around you, which obviously would be having a lot of calories. So how did you maintain your cravings and how did you balance that?
Whenever we get a craving, we should not even taste it. So tasting itself will make you crave more for it. So if you have some cravings, try avoiding it and do not go near to it. So do not think of it, or else what I did was, when I had those cravings, I had especially midnight cravings, I uninstalled my Swiggy app. I told my parents to not bring any sweets to home, so that I made myself far away from those cravings. So if you don't see it, or if you are full in your stomach, having a regular diet will definitely make you full. That will definitely make you go away from your cravings. I would say do not taste your cravings just to get that essence. It will definitely help guide you to crave more. So do not do it.
Okay. So what is that best habit that you've learned till now that you just implement every day in your life?
Tracking what we are doing in a particular day. Anything in life cannot be achieved one day, but every day if you do the same thing, or do little 1% progress every day, that will definitely make you go near to your goal. So gym is something which made me realize that putting efforts every day will definitely make you reach your goal. How do we plan a day? That is what really matters. So if you plan a particular day and then follow that day for many days, definitely you will reach your goal.
So how do you do the planning? Do you use an app?
Definitely,
Or do you just write it down? What do you do?
Always do the first important thing when you wake up. It depends on person to person, how do they want to manage their life. So planning a day, it's up to you, but make sure you have all the things prioritized according to your day.
So what do you do at times when you feel very unmotivated?
There are certain times where we feel demotivated due to some kind of activities in life. There might be certain instances where we don't see results. So then we face those issues and we feel demotivated. All it requires is again tracking what you're doing. There's always a scope for improvement in which we do. Understanding there is always a scope for improvement is what makes us be on track and get motivated for ourselves.
If you had a chance to go back in time and give yourself an advice, what would it be?
I would just start my gym early in my life, and then be consistent with it. But many underestimate that today is the younger day that you can make a change. Even if they miss it in their past, it's an opportunity for us to achieve in our future. Working today is the solution for it.
Okay. So what is that one non-fitness habit that you've inculcated in your life?
So I randomly learned editing and photography in my college. I was very passionate about learning photography during lockdown time. Now if I'm making content, I would need those technical knowledge of editing and photography. That's the non-fitness skill that I would say I am more blessed of, because hiring an editor also requires a lot of effort. When we need to create a content which is in demand, that can be fulfilled with my efforts without hiring an external editor.
So can you share a personal story of failure that turned you to the person that you are right now?
So I would say, if you have something comfortable in your life, then focusing on your fitness is a very great opportunity for you at that point of your life. I'm sure pretty much corporate employees or people who are into business or something, who have a very comfortable life, might relate to it. But then having a comfortable life and focusing on your fitness is really a blessing. If you face any failure, I would say definitely gym is something which will help you give a comeback, or becoming fit for yourself.
Putting you in the right zone,
Yeah. If you are comfortable coming out of your comfort zone, then that will make you a different person overall. Also try to focus on your fitness if you have a comfortable life also.
That's a really good way of looking at it, to be honest. So in your fitness journey, what has been the proudest moment that you you really appreciate?
I had a very bad experience going to a mall and then trying out few dresses. Then I have looked into my mirror and I felt very awkward. That made me realize that if I have to wear something, purchasing any branded clothes or investing on clothes or accessories might not help that much. Once I looked at my mirror after the transformation, that really felt so nice, and people complimenting it, really made the difference. People leave everything out, but they would definitely carry their physique wherever they go. Going in a simple dress with a nice physique will definitely make an impact, create more positive energy around the people you are.
You put up a lot of content on social media, and I'm sure you must be facing both positive and negative feedback as well. So how do you cope up with the criticisms or the negative comments that you get?
One thing I would say is whenever something negative is coming in your life, then you are going in a right direction. Video games taught me that like if you are going to face an enemy, that means you are going in a right direction. If you are getting that negativity and people are finding something negative in you, initially you will definitely feel bad about it, or you might react to something in a way which you are not supposed to. There were situations where I reacted to few comments, but then I understood that giving attention to that is really making wasting my time. So not giving any attention to those kind of negative comments, and then considering the positive side of a negative comment will definitely help you come up with a different, and it will challenge you to come up with more creative content. If people are commenting something bad, always try to engage with your audience, and people who follow you will definitely try to give some positive criticism as well.
True.
So always take that and work on yourself. Do not care of the negative comments, I would say.
Every now and then, I think a human requires those small wins which they count on to.
Yes.
So what are those small wins that really motivate you every day?
If you want to make your fitness journey an interesting journey, then always try to reward yourself with something good. When I started my fitness journey, I rewarded myself with some better gear of shooting a content, followed by improving the mic, and then also rewarded myself better gym clothes. So that will definitely push all the limits and then make you play like a game. So enjoy the fitness journey like a game. Reward yourself for every milestone you achieve. That is how you make it more interactive, or encouraging by yourself. So that's the best thing you can do yourself, by rewarding yourself for all small wins.
What's the biggest misconception about fitness that you've heard a lot?
Like parents won't allow girls to do gym, but I would say it is the equal effort that requires for girls also to do gym and become fit, lift weights, and then they wouldn't get muscular as men because of the low testosterone levels. I would say girls should also hit gym. There is more scope for girls, especially if they want to become content creators in fitness. There are very less people who are taking that advantage now. There is so much feature, and it also fixes your health, mental health, physical health. All it requires your effort to join gym. I would tell all the parents to let their children join gym even at the very young age. It will make their hormones more efficient, and it will help to get in shape. That is what I recommend all the parents to send their kids or children to gym as early as possible.
That is very true. Fitness is like very important for each and every person. It doesn't really have to
be a gender specific.
Yeah, that's true. So if you had to give an advice to a beginner who's just starting out their fitness journey, what would it be?
There are many beginners who would like to start fitness journey. I would just tell them not to stop what they're doing right now. Stopping will definitely kill all the future results that you are trying to get. And then always trusting the process, and then blindly sticking to the basics. Going to gym will definitely make some difference. I understand that mindset, diet, everything will play a different role, but for a basic fitness level, going to gym and then having a basic diet will definitely help them achieve their goals.
If you had to pick one exercise which you would recommend for everybody to do, what would that be?
There are multiple exercises. One which we can do with your body weight, and one with targeting multiple muscle groups, and the other is isolation exercises, targeting only specific muscle groups. So always warm up with your body weight, and then doing mixed group muscle training, and then followed by isolating any specific muscle. So understanding all these basics will definitely require some time, but make sure in a week you try to train all the muscles, and then if you understood the basics, then try to train 2 muscles per day, and then that will definitely help them to achieve their fitness goals really faster.
So when did you start getting into content creation? Like how did you get that idea?
Everyone who would like to create content suffer with the gear initially, but as a photographer I had all my gear ready. All I lacking is to create content, and I was always searching for a genre where I can contribute and create content. I've tried photography, I've tried bike content, and then I felt it is very limited scope, and even if I spend time on it I would not fix my health. If we make fixing health as a content, so if I do not get any reach also, I'll still be fit, I'll still be healthy. So yeah, that's a win actually, and then content is a bonus.
Okay, so how was your reaction when you got a lot of views and the popularity?
Like when I get to go to some places also, people came and found me, and then they came and talked to me. So that really felt nice initially, and now also I feel really great when people come and acknowledge the fact that they watch my content and they are my follower. But yeah, it's an overwhelming feeling in the initial stages, but you'll understand that you got a job to do, and then job in the sense you got more content to do. Always stick to the fundamentals of your content. Be genuine with your content. You'll get more and more acknowledgement from the strangers. Feel whenever a stranger comes and acknowledges you, that's the best feeling one can have.
Okay. So how has social media played in your life? How did it help you look at yourself?
Every social media content creator will get a phase that to check themselves whether they are doing it for only content or whether they are doing it for their happiness. So every content creator will get that check in their life, and the decision we take at that particular point matters a lot. So even I got those situations. Am I doing it only for content or getting views or engage people? Am I really following certain norms in my real life and making content out of it? So these are two different ways of making a content. If you are a content creator, be like focus on the content. It need not be very personal, but always try to create content with all the fundamentals you have. But if you would like to become an influencer, always try to be very genuine and make sure you show the real version of you, so that people can connect, get influenced by you and also follow you. Try to be genuine for yourself first, and then post that as a content. Follow certain norms in your life and show that to the audience.
So how do you balance your work life and content creation together? I'm sure it's like quite hectic. So how do you do it?
Definitely after waking up I go to gym. So as I've mentioned, planning a day is what really matters. So I go to gym and then I go to work, and then after coming from work I'll sit in editing or trying to build few concepts for my next content, and then I follow my steps and all. So having no distractions and having something very particular mindset, that will definitely help you. I would want to tell one thing, like if you are into scrolling too much, trap of social media, I'm sure it is very difficult to come out of it, but make sure at least you utilize that screen time to create content. People are doing it and people are having a great life doing it. So I would say there's so much scope to create content. Even if you are new to it, make sure you learn and do it. There's no hurry. If you become a consumer, definitely you will be the victim. So make sure you produce and be on the top. Learn and improve your content day by day. That will definitely bring an impact and reduce the screen time of scrolling which you do. Then you'll get a lot of time to do other things.
So what's the best piece of advice that you've received till now?
The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. If you want something great in your life but still worrying of not happening, that means you are avoiding doing that.
If you had to give a message to the people who are into fitness and they just started their journey, what would that advice be? Make
sure you prioritize your fitness, followed by surround other things around your fitness. If you want to make money in fitness also, there's so many areas which you can become full-time fitness creator, or else you can have a gym, become do certifications and then become a trainer, certified trainer, and train others. So there's so much scope in fitness. The people are earning a lot in fitness as well, and people are really understanding the fact that health is what matters finally.
So how do you stay motivated when the progress slows down?
Yes, we'll get a point where our results get saturated. That is when we have to understand that we have to make certain change. For example, if the weight is not getting decreased, that means there's something wrong with the calorie intake you're taking. So try to reduce few calorie intakes. It is always a continuous process where you need to make certain changes. If you are not seeing result, that means there's no change. That means it requires a change. So make sure you make a little change that will help you get the result.
So how was your college life?
I would say college life was the best life. I have got many lifelong things from college. The one which is photography and the editing, and all my friends still in contact with. College is something like plays an important role in my life, especially my engineering. That's the best phase, I would say, where I get to do all my multitasking and still be able to manage my life.
So when did you start getting into fitness? Which point was that in your life
So it is post college when everything is comfortable in my life. I came into fitness, and then people do come like that without any negative feedback they get. It was after post college, and while I was doing my job, I felt like there should be something which I have to make a fix, and then health is our first priority always. So I have to make this change.
That was great, Sravan. Thanks for sharing a lot about your journey, and thanks for motivating a lot of people who are watching you right now. So it was just very informative and insightful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was great. This is my first experience doing a podcast. I would say it's a great experience, and I wish all the best for you guys to do more podcasts like this. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sravan.